Good afternoon, everyone. This is Dr. Claire Brodin, and today we'll be discussing Chapter 12 on crimes against property. Due to the lengthy nature of this chapter, I will be dividing my lecture into three separate videos. The first video, part 1, will be on burglary. The second video will be on theft. And the third video will be on property offenders and receivers, including arson. Okay, let's start. First, let's look at several definitions of the different types of property crimes. First, burglary is the unlawful entry of a structure to commit felony or theft inside. Larceny or theft is the unlawful taking, carrying, leading, or riding away of property from the possession or constructive possession of another. Motor vehicle theft is the theft or attempted theft of a motor vehicle. And arson is any willful or malicious burning or attempt to burn with or without intent to defraud a dwelling house, building, or motor vehicle. Let's look at burglary. Under federal or under general definitions of criminal law, burglary is the unlawful entry of a structure to commit a theft or felony inside. So the structure can be a business, residence, or any other type of building, and force is not a necessary ingredient of burglary. There are several types of burglary: forcible entry, unlawful entry, and attempted forcible entry. The lifetime risk of burglary is high, and most residential burglaries occur during the day where residents are unlikely to be home. There are a lot of consequences for the victim, including, for residential burglaries, high levels of fear and apprehension, whereas for commercial burglaries, it can affect the continued viability of smaller, less stable businesses. Now, burglary as a crime is often explained through different criminological theories, such as lifestyle and routine activities theories. What is routine activity theory? Routine activity theory says that crime will occur as a result of the concurrence of three things. First, motivated offender, so someone who wants to commit crime. Second, suitable target, someone who is suitable because of a variety of factors, such as maybe physical characteristics, maybe the victim is weak, or the target, if it's burglary, the building or the structure does not really have a lot of security devices. And third, absence of capable guardian, if there's no one to monitor or regulate activity, and if crime is easy to commit in that area, crime would occur. So again, routine activities theory emphasizes that criminal opportunity is affected by suitable target, absence of capable guardian, and motivated offender. Now, for suitable target, according to research on burglary, irrespective of race, the highest income and the lowest income residences are often the target. Highest income, obviously, because of the presence of valuable items inside that residence, and lowest income is also targeted because of the ease of access, such as the lack of available security devices. This slide shows us a typology of burglars. So there are low-level burglars who are mainly juveniles, and they work with others. They are easily deterred, and they often desist with age. So what causes this deterrence? They are easily deterred by the presence of security devices in residential buildings or commercial buildings. Middle-range burglars are older, and they vacillate between criminal and legitimate activities. They commonly use drugs and alcohol, and they are less easily deterred by security devices. High-level burglars are professionals who work in organized crews and earn a good living from burglary. Locales and times of burglary. Burglars at any level may target residences and commercial buildings. Nighttime residential and daytime commercial burglaries are considered most serious because there are victims, there are people located inside during the night, so inside the houses or inside residential commercial buildings during the daytime. Burglary is a cold crime because there is little physical evidence to link the offender to the crime. What is the motivation of burglars? Well, it's the need for fast cash. That's why they target residential burglaries. They often choose burglary because it's familiar, it's mainline. It's less risky than other offenses such as robbery, wherein you don't need to use force or violence to be able to obtain the items or goods. And offenders may not necessarily own the equipment for robbery. Target selection for burglary are commercial establishments. And retail establishments are 4 times more likely to be targeted compared to other commercial establishments. Residential burglary target selection. The key factors are knowledge of the occupants, tips, observation of potential target, including other signs of occupancy, security devices, dogs, and access to area. The costs of burglary. Most household burglaries involve economic loss, such as lost property, including cash, and time lost from work. Also, the decision to move is often affected by property crimes like burglary instead of violent crimes like robbery or assault. The burglary drug connection. In the 1980s, robbery as a crime began increasing and burglary decreased. The increase in robbery can be linked to increased demand for crack cocaine and the realization by offenders that with respect to robbery, the object that you can obtain from the victim is cash instead of items such as burglary. In burglary, where you need to sell the items before you actually can obtain cash. The sexualized context of burglary. Some burglaries have associated sexual dynamics, and some sexually motivated homicides began as burglary. So, for example, some offenders who have transitioned into homicides that are sexually motivated. They initially started their careers as burglaries. They burglarized houses and they had fetishes, and later they transitioned into sexual homicide, sexually motivated homicide. Thank you very much for listening to my lecture. The next video will be on theft. Thank you.